And today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen on the guitar. So stay tuned if this is something that you'd like to learn. And really quick before we jump into the tutorial, I wanted to take a second to thank today's sponsor, Enya Music. I will actually be featuring their NEXG smart guitar in this tutorial today. So if you would like to check it out for yourself, I will make sure to leave a link in the description box down below as well as in this iCard right up here. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and label this a beginner/intermediate song, but I will be showing you kind of a way you can make it a little bit more simplified as well as more of an official sounding version. But before we talk about any of that, let's go ahead and talk about our guitar. You will need it to be in standard tuning, and you do not need a capo to play this song in its original key. On top of that, I only have 5 chords to show you to play through the whole song. However, one of them is a bar chord, which is F, but I will also be showing you a non-barred version to play that F chord. And then I wanted to take you through one strumming pattern that you can use for the whole song, or one picking pattern that you can use for the whole song. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial, and we'll start with the chords. Alright guys, so I've zoomed in a little bit to take a closer look at these chords. We're going to start with our C, which looks like this and sounds like this. And if you don't know how to read these chord charts that you're seeing on screen, I actually do cover how to do that in my beginner series, episode 3, so I will link that right here for those of you who need it. The next chord is our G chord. After that we have our A minor. Then we have our E7. And the last chord is our bar chord, which is our F chord. But as promised, if bar chord shapes are hard for you, you can actually replace this with an F over C. Those are all the chords you need to know to play this song. Now, as I always say before you go any further, make sure to pause the video and just take a few minutes to practice memorizing those chord shapes as well as transitioning back and forth between them. It will make learning the rest of the song just that much easier. But once you've done that, we can go ahead and jump into the strumming pattern that I'd like to show you for this song. Alright, and as always, before we jump into the full strumming pattern, I wanted to start you guys off with a practice pattern, which is just a simple down strum on every chord change. And this is really great for people who are beginners at guitar or people who struggle with singing and playing their guitar at the same time. This is basically what you want to do is just take that single down strum for every chord change that you see while you're singing through it, and just take a mental note of which word you're singing whenever those chords are changing, and that'll help you when we kind of increase the difficulty of the strumming. So let me go ahead and pull up a little bit of the song here, and then we can kind of go through this together. So as you can see here, we're starting with our C chord, and basically all you want to do is practice singing through it and do a single down strum for every time you see one of those chord changes. Now I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? Alright, and then let's go ahead and go into the pre-chorus as well, because it's a little different there. It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor falls, the major lifts, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Alright, I wanted to go over that really quick because you'll see there's a little star by the F and the G chord, and that's because those are going to transition a little bit faster than the rest of the chords. So right now when we're doing the single down strum, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but it will when we get into the full strumming and the picking. So just kind of take a mental note of how those two chords are going to move a little bit faster. But basically what you want to do is go through the entire song with the single down strum, sing through the whole thing, and just make sure you know where those chords are transitioning or what word you're singing whenever they are. And this is actually something you can do right now. I do have this entire guide available on my Patreon page, and you can print it out and kind of sing through it and just get used to the song before we move into the full strumming pattern. So make sure to check that out if you would like to. But with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the full strumming pattern that I would recommend for this song. Alright guys, so the strumming I would recommend for this song, as you can see, is just down, down, up, and it's going to sound like this. Now, before we move forward with practicing this strumming pattern, it's important that you understand the time signature that we're in. So this song is going to be in 6/8 time, which feels very much like when you're counting, you would count to 6. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Think of like a waltz or kind of thing like that. So that's important with the counting, because when we count it, it's going to be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. And so with this strumming pattern, you're basically just leaving out the and after the 1. So it's going to go 1, 2 and 1, 2 and down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Okay? So if you can kind of internalize that rhythm, it'll make this whole thing a lot easier. But let's go ahead and put our C chord on, since that's the first chord in the song, and just play through this rhythm for a few measures until you get it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Awesome. So once you kind of get that waltzy kind of feeling in your bones, all you have to do now is put the chord transitions in there. So what we're going to do is play this full strumming pattern one time through for each chord. So you can see here we're going from C to A minor. So you're going to do the full strumming pattern on each of those chords. On C we have down, down, up, down, up. Then you go to A minor, down, down, up, down, up. You do that again. C, down, up, A minor, down, up, down, up. Then that last line there we have F, down, down, up, G, down, down, up, to C, down, down, up, to G, down, down, up. All right? So every single chord in there gets the full strumming pattern. If you put in the singing, it'll sound like this. Now I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? All right? Now let's go ahead and talk about the next part of this song. As I said earlier, that F and G has a little star by it because it is going to feel like it's moving a little faster because the transitions are a little faster. So basically what you want to do between that F and G chord is we're going to take the strumming pattern and split it in half. So for the F chord, you're going to do the first 2 down strums, down, down, and then you're going to finish out the pattern with your G chord, up, down, up. All right? So it's the same exact strumming pattern that we're playing, we're just splitting it up between 2 chords. So we have down, down, up, all right? F, G. Right. So that's the only part of this song where this strumming pattern is going to be, feel a little bit different. The rest of the chords in this whole song are always going to get a full pattern. All right, so for the pre-chorus, we have C, full pattern, then we have F, down, down, G, up, down, up, then A minor gets the full pattern, F gets the full pattern, G, E7, A minor, alright? Goes like this, the 4th, the 5th, the minor falls, the major lifts, the baffled king composing, hallelujah. Alright? And there on the end of the pre-chorus on the word hallelujah, you're going to do that A minor for one full pattern, and then I like to just come back in with one more down strum before we go into the chorus. Now the chorus is a little bit different as well because now we're going to repeat this strumming pattern twice for each of the chords in the chorus. So on F we have 1, 2, A minor, twice, F, twice, and then here at the end we go from C to G, and each of those are going to just get once. So C, G, C again, to G again. All right, so the chorus sounds like this. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. All right, and great. And the best thing about this song is that it is really repetitive. So we've gone through every little part of the song, the verses, the pre-choruses, and the chorus. And again, you're gonna use this strumming pattern. It's gonna be exactly the same for the rest of the song. So if this is where you're comfortable with rhythm and your guitar skills, it totally sounds really pretty if you do the strumming pattern for your cover. However, the more official kind of sounding way to play this song would be with a finger picking pattern. And I did come up with a really simple one for you guys. So let's go ahead and zoom in so I can show you how to do it. Alright guys, so before we begin breaking down this finger picking pattern, I did just want to explain to you that I like to number my guitar strings. So the low E here is 6 and it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 all the way to the high E string, which is 1. In my head it just makes more sense to number these strings, so hopefully it does for you as well. But for the rest of this picking portion, I will be referring to my guitar strings as numbers. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about our right picking hand. What I want you to do is take your pointer, middle, and ring finger, and they are going to live here on the bottom 3 guitar strings, okay? So your pointer's on G, your middle finger's on B, and your ring finger's on that high E string. Throughout this entire thing, these 3 fingers will not leave these strings. The only one that is going to move around is your thumb, okay? And the thumb is going to cover whichever note is the bass note in whatever chord you're playing. So for example, if we start with our C chord, which is the first chord in the song, your lowest string that you play is that 5th A string, okay? So your thumb's gonna stay here on the 5th string, and then remember these 3 fingers live on the bottom 3. And the pattern goes like this. You're gonna go 5, 3, 2, 1, and then you're gonna go back up the guitar. 2, 3. All right? And that's the whole pattern. So C is 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. For the rhythm, it's gonna be just like our strumming pattern. You want that waltzy kind of feel still. So it's gonna go 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and all right? So that rhythm is going to be the same for all of these other chords as well. So let's go ahead and move on to our A minor chord. Now your thumb's going to stay on this 5th string because that's the lowest string in this chord, and the exact same pattern is going to be applied. So we have 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right? Again, A minor is 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and skip and talk about our G chord now. Now, these 3 fingers will still be on the bottom 3 strings, but your thumb's gonna move to this low E string, or number 6, because that's the lowest string we play when we play G, all right? But the rest of the pattern is the same. So it's gonna look like this: 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right? E7, same thing. You're going to keep your thumb on the 6th string, so it goes 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, and now let's go ahead and talk about that F chord. If you're playing the barred version of F, nothing's going to change with the pattern. It's still going to be 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. However, at the beginning, I did give you that alternate F over C chord, and if that's what you're opting to play, you will have to move the fingers on your right hand for this, okay? So if you're picking this song and you're playing that F over C chord, your thumb's gonna be on the 5th A string, pointer on the 4th D, middle on the 3rd G, and then ring finger on the 2nd B. So basically you're moving all 3 of these fingers up 1 string, okay? And then once your fingers are in this position, that F over C chord is gonna be played 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And that's how you would play the F over C chord if that's what you're replacing. However, if you can handle the bar version of F, that is what I would recommend playing because it sounds better. So remember, barred F is 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So now we can actually go ahead and play through most of this song because that is the pattern you would use through most of the song. So let's go ahead and bring up the lyrics again. Now the way you play through this with picking is just like how we played through it with the strumming. So for the verses, each of these chords that you see on screen is just gonna get one full picking pattern. So C gets 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. A minor gets 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Back to C. Back to A minor. Then we have F, G, please the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? Alright, so you can kind of see how that picking pattern that we practiced is coming into play now. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the pre-chorus, because again, this is going to be a little bit different just like it was with strumming. So we're starting with our C chord. You're going to give this a full picking pattern. 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Then here, remember these F and G chords are starred because they're going to move a little bit faster. So what you want to do for these next two chords is just play the beginning half of the picking pattern. So for your F chord, you're going to go 6, 3, 2, and then stop, okay? It's just 6, 3, 2. That's the whole pattern. Then you would move to your G chord, same thing, 6, 3, 2. So we're not doing the entire pattern, just the first three notes. So F, G, all right? And again, this is the only place in the song that this is gonna be a little bit different. So the pre-chorus would be like this: C, F, G, A minor, G, E7, A minor. And then again here on the A minor, I like to do the full picking pattern and then just end on the 5th string and kind of let it ring out. All right? So the whole pre-chorus would sound like this. Goes like this: the 4th, the 5th, the minor falls, the major lifts, the baffled king composing hallelujah. All right, great. And then the only other part of the song we have to go through is the chorus. So again, just like with strumming, for the chorus, you are going to repeat this picking pattern 2 times for the F and A minor chords. And then for the C and G chords, you're just gonna do it once. So we're gonna go F twice, to A minor twice, back to F twice, then we go C once, G once, C once, back to G once. All right, so the full chorus is like this. Hallelujah. And that is how you can apply this picking pattern through the entire song. If you can handle it or you find this easier, I would recommend playing through the song with the picking just because it sounds a lot more like the original. But with all of that being said, let's go ahead and put everything together so we can play through the song. And even though 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. Want to have fun playing through the rest of this song with me? Then make sure to check out my Patreon page where you can unlock access to this as well as all my other fast track and play along tutorials. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description box down below as well as in this iCard right up here. Alright guys, but I think that ends my video for today, so thank you so much for watching. If it helped you, make sure to give me a thumbs up down below as well as subscribe to my channel, that way you never miss out on any other new guitar tutorials. Another thank you goes out to Enya Music for sponsoring today's video, as well as a special shout out to my top patrons over on my Patreon page. I will make sure to have all of their names listed on screen right now. And of course, thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon for supporting my channel and making videos just like this one possible. You guys are awesome. Here are my social media sites in case you'd like to follow me on any of those. That's just where I do fun things like behind the scenes looks at things coming up. I'll poll you guys on what you want to learn next, and I'll even do giveaways on there a few times a year, so make sure to check it out. But I think that ends the video today, so thank you so much for watching. I really hope that it helped, and I will see you in my next one coming out really soon. Bye!